Yo, what's up? So I want to clear up some misconceptions. I think that a lot of content, not really my content, but a lot of content that guys that watch my stuff, they also follow other men's self-development channels that talk about dating. And I think when you hear the words dominance in a relationship, you think that you have to control everything. And I'm here to tell you what actually matters to control in a relationship. So, what do you actually need to control as a man if you want to be the dominant one in the relationship? And what role do you have to play if you want the right and the privilege to be able to dominate, like basically dominate your woman in the way that you want to be dominant to her, right? Because ultimately it's a consensual thing. She wants you to be dominant, but she only wants the right guy to be dominant, right? And so what do you have to do to be the right guy? I'm going to talk about two things in this video that will help you make that shift into being that right guy that is dominant in all of the right ways, because I don't control every aspect of my relationship. I control the things that matter, and they all revolve around respect, okay? And it's very important that you have mutual respect between you and whatever woman or women you're seeing, because they need to respect you above all else, but you also need to respect her and be honest with her and completely open up your communication with her by telling her like it is, because it's not respectful to baby another person. It's not respectful to baby your girl. So if you have to offend a little bit to get your point across, right, and risk her being offended, that's actually more respectful in a lot of scenarios, because you have to be honest with her. You have to be open and honest and upfront and cut the bullshit when you're communicating. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, the first shift you need to make in order to be a guy that does dominate the relationship in all of the right ways that you want to dominate, is you need to accept that is your responsibility. If you want to be the dominant one, if you want all of the perks of being the dominant leader of the relationship, like her giving you a lot of leeway to do whatever you want, not nagging all the time, just kind of, supporting you in everything you do, you need to be a man. Because there are a lot of times in my relationship where I didn't live up to that man part of the relationship. And I would try to dominate and stay in control, and it just wouldn't work because I wasn't capable of that. And so it's only in times where I'm really on top of my own purpose and my own vision, and I'm prioritizing my own mission and focus, and I'm really prioritizing my own growth, that she respects me enough to like submit in that way and like let me be in control and like dominate a lot more. And that's the first thing you have to do. So what does being a man actually mean, like in this context? Well, first, if you're leading, you take the responsibility. So you have to go out of your way to plan the date, to pick her up, to, be a gentleman, open the car door for her, right? If you see flowers and you think of her, get the flowers, right? You have to be proactive and be constantly thinking, how can I show my appreciation for her? Because if you only show your appreciation as a reaction to her nagging you or her getting mad at you, you've completely lost the frame. And so you can't just go through your entire relationship never giving her any validation, never giving her anything that would tell her that you care. You have to proactively show her that you care. And so that's for relationships. But with girls that you're dating or you're just starting to see, you need to go out of your way to show that you respect her by not letting any bullshit slide, right? I respect you and I respect our relationship. I respect what's going on here. And so I'm not going to let this, whatever, like say she stands you up on a date or she flakes last second, like basically saying, hey, if, I value my time, and like, basically, I made time for this, and, you're going to have to reach back out if you want to see me again. And just like laying some sort of boundary there. So that's one example, but there are a lot of things that you can do whenever you're in a relationship or you're talking to a woman or you've gone on a couple dates that really sets you up to being the man. You have to accept the responsibility of I pay the bill, right? This is something that like guys get so mad about. They're like, I don't want to have to pay the bill. Dude, if you want to be able to dominate the interaction, pay the bill. Like guys will talk about how they don't want all the responsibility that comes with power. But here's the thing, if you want to be powerful, you have to be able to do things. You have to be able to take responsibility, and you have to go out of your way to take responsibility, like paying the bill on a date, or like going out of your way to, open the car door, right? It's like small things like that when done out of care and love for the other person and protection, that are very attractive. But when they're done as a reactive kind of like, I want to make it up to you, that's when it's weak. That's when it's incredibly soft and women lose respect. And so respect above all else is the most important thing. And so that's why you need to take responsibility first for any, for everything that goes on in the dynamic of the relationship. Because if you want to dominate, you need to take that responsibility and be okay with that. All right. The second thing you need to do is you need to go out of your way to be fun and playful all the time. And I just filmed a video, it's coming out in the next couple of days, on how I am trying to refine what I find fun. Because honestly, I've changed so much in the last 3 to 6 months that I don't even really know what I find fun anymore. I used to find a lot of, humor related to like video games and memes and stuff like really funny. And I still kind of find that stuff funny, but it's a different part of me that finds that funny. And so now I got to figure out like, what do I find funny? Because I don't want to fall back, we don't want to fall back into like the loser behavior, but like now we got to figure out like, what's the next way that I can be fun and playful? So I want you to check out that video when that comes out in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, like you need to really figure out what you find fun, and you need to be able to display that fun and share that fun and that joy that you have in life with the woman you're with. And if you can't do that, then you don't stand a chance. If you can't, one, take responsibility for, your role in the relationship and be the dominant one, but also take the responsibility of, if I'm the dominant one, if I'm in charge, then I have more responsibility in the relationship. If you can't take that responsibility, and you also can't take that responsibility without cracking under pressure and still be fun and joyful and just a good time to be around and able to tease her and poke fun at her and not take yourself too seriously. If you can't do those things, your relationships are destined to fail. So a lot of guys will come to me and they need help because they've only ever settled in relationships, or they've had relationships with girls that they really want to be with, and they've ended after a year or two. And that actually happened to one of my clients, Adrian. I have one of his interviews up on the channel from about 2-3 weeks ago. And what really stood out about his story is that he was getting left for other guys consistently. Like every 2 years, the girl he was dating would leave him for another guy. And it's because he didn't have those two factors. He was always fun and joyful and playful, but he would be reactive and he wouldn't take the responsibility of the leader. He wouldn't take that extra workload that it does take to lead relationships, and he wasn't embracing that fully. And so once he started doing that, he started dating women and getting them to chase, and they start chasing because they realize like he is the right guy. He is the guy that they want to be with. And so they start trying to do things to lock him down because they see a lot of potential there. They see that he's not going to be easily, he's not going to be the one that backs down from a challenge. He's going to be the one that can protect and provide. And that's what girls want in the long run. And so if you want to be that guy that women chase, that women want to be with in the long run, then you need to have these two traits. All right. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, comment below, let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.